Welcome to What's Up Punk, where we take a look at the myriad of subgenres under the umbrella of punk. Today we'll be looking at Dreampunk. Let's dream a little dream. What is Dreampunk? Alice in Wonderland. Yeah, I could do my usual spiel, but no, it's Alice in Wonderland. Classic movie, not book, not Burton. See, in Burton's Underland, because screw you, that's why, was a place. Yes, mystical in nature, but real, or at least tangentially real. The original animation, that sumbitch was a dream. Which is what we're working with here. Either by tech, drug, psychic ability, or advanced lucid dreaming, one could walk in the realm of dreams and the collective unconscious. Or the lines between dream and reality become blurred either by what was previously stated, or mental illness, or imagination. To the point where one crosses over to the other. Technology. Going to forego the usual format a bit, as tech level is less important in Dreampunk, and just say that Dreampunk on the more dystopian side goes with the evil corporation, usual thing we got going on, using dreams as ad space or making drugs that make sleep even more of an escape and creates Freddy Krueger-like serial killers. A great example of using tech and possibly neural framework mapping is the game Roy from Rick and Morty. The game works like a dream, moving on a lot faster than linear progression because the mundane bits have been edited out. And the subject, Morty, doesn't notice this, or his mind makes up enough of it to fill in the blanks and progress further in the game, or it's possible that the game itself suppresses his ability to produce norepinephrine to form new memories. But that's a whole other thing. Now you might be saying, that's more cyberpunk, with it being VR, simulation, and you'd be correct if Rick hadn't hijacked the system with his own id.
This guy's taking Roy off the grid! This guy doesn't have a social security number for Roy!
Aesthetics. The aesthetic of Dreampunk is very subjective, as a dream is influenced by the dreamer. Most Dreampunk does use Jungian archetypes and the theory of the collective unconscious, but that's the framework. The details are all your own. For example, picture in your mind a giant robot standing over a city. Now, given your culture, proclivities, or the amount and type of pop culture you're exposed to, that robot could take on any form. Personally, I'm seeing one of those old school Iron Giant type wind-up robots with the pincer claws threatening Golden Age Superman. Likely because prepping for this, I watched Paprika, aka Visual Acid. Any other day it could be anything from a Jaeger to Mechagodzilla. Now let's smear a little of that subconscious on that. Let's say you and your father, for one reason or another, haven't spoken in a while, and what drew you two close together once was Takuzatsu. And now that robot has your father's face on it, and you should probably call him. However, there are some elements that are common to Dreampunk. As previously stated, dystopian govs, evil corpse, but also mystery cats, phantom twins, jazz music, memory fragmentation, robots, ghosts, and mystical creatures. And of course, Jungian philosophy. Now, what's Jungian philosophy? The collective or transpersonal unconscious. This is a level of the unconsciousness shared with other members of the human species, comprising latent memories from the ancestral and evolutionary past, or as Jung would say, the form of the world into which a person is born is already inborn in him as a virtual image. According to Jung, the human mind has innate characteristics imprinted on it as a result of evolution. These universal predispositions stem from an ancestral past. Fear of the dark or of snakes and spiders might be examples. And as a side note, these ideas has recently been revived in the theory of prepared conditioning. However, more important than isolating tendencies are those aspects of the collective unconscious that have developed into separate subsystems of the personality. Jung called these ancestral memories and images archetypes. Or let's break this down. The human race unconscious mind is connected like a web by the primal memories you had when you were all one people. Within that web are aspects or archetypes common to everyone's subconscious. A lot of the meat of Dreampunk comes from these various archetypes, such as the persona. You know what? That's not actually that far off. The persona is a shield for the ego from negative images, According to Jung, the persona may appear in dreams and take any kind of different form. The shadow.
The shadow?
The shadow? The shadow.
Archetype that contains all the things that are unacceptable not only to society but to one's own personal moral values. It might include such things as envy, greed, prejudice, hate, and aggression. This archetype is often described as the dark side of the psyche, representing wildness, chaos, and the unknown. These latent dispositions are present in all of us. Jung believed although people sometimes deny this element of their own, it appears in dreams or visions, and may take a variety of forms. It can appear as a snake, a monster, a demon, a dragon, or some other dark, wild, exotic figure. The anima is a feminine image in the male psyche, and of course the reverse in the female psyche. The anima, or animus, represents the true self rather than the image we represent to others and serves as the primary source of communication within the collective unconscious. The self. Creating the self occurs through a process known as individuation, in which the various aspects of a personality are integrated. Jung often represented this self as a circle, square, or a mandala. Now, those are the major archetypes. There are some minor ones we're going to go through really quick. The father, authority figure, stern, powerful. Mother, nurturing, comforting. The child, longing for innocence, rebirth, salvation. The wise man, guidance, knowledge, wisdom. The hero, champion, defender, rescuer. The maiden, innocence, desire, and purity. And the trickster, deceiver, liar, troublemaker. Now, where did Dreampunk start? Alice in Wonderland. Yeah, it all goes back to Alice in Wonderland. Anyway, be more specific. Alice in Wonderland for the basics, but redefined by one of the biggest contributors to the punk genre, Philip K. Dick. More specifically, his works like Ubrick, The Three Stigmata of Palmer Eldritch, and Radio Free Albemuth. Yeah, I'll be honest, I really only remember Philip making references to his own Dreampunk stories. Creepily in the same order, I checked them out for this video, and also the sexy blondness of Catherine Winnick. Seriously, I love Brie Larson as much as the next Scott Pilgrim fan, but how is she not Captain Marvel? Sorry, I got off the topic again. Real life Dreampunks. Now, if you want to put in the work, and I'm speaking from experience here, it is work, you can become a lucid dreamer. Take control of your own dream from while you're asleep, or be guided on a dream by a recording or someone specializing in that. But read up first. There are some downsides to being aware when you should not be aware. And from personal experience, once again, I could never really get the hang of it. But if it's something you might be interested in, give it a shot. Time for those recommendations. I have to direct you to the Evil Within series. So far, only 2 games in the series and some DLC of an evil corp creating its own man-made collective unconscious, and to see just how much they can dick over one Crimson City detective. If you like Jungian philosophy, stealth, shooting monsters in the face, you'll like it. Next up, Silent Hill Shattered Memories. Answering the question of Through the Looking Glass, if Wonderland isn't Alice's dream but the Red King's, is Alice a dream? For something less about dreams and more about dream logic or reality getting blurred with dreams, check out Phantasm, winner of the Chaos Theater's 1979 Best Horror Soundtrack Award. Also check out Franklin, the Eva Green movie you didn't know you wanted, but you totally wanted. And of course, Paprika, the animated movie that provides its own brown acid. No, seriously, screw iDose. If you want something to get you high without chemicals, just watch that. Now, how do I feel about Dreampunk? Now, you might be thinking because of the recommendation list being a bit more than usual, Dreampunk is totally my thing. No, sorry. Solar's still pretty new, and Biopunk is all intermingled with Cyber, so Dream just has more and are easier to quantify. It's like anime, you know it when you see it. Personally, even though H.R. Geiger is my favorite artist of all time, I'm not a huge fan of surrealism. David Lynch's work pisses me off, and given the nature of the unconscious mind, a lot of Dreampunk deals with surrealism. There's a lot to like. There are endless avenues for storytelling in Dreampunk, from the truth of a man's soul to the various degrees of unconsciousness to peeping in on another person's most vulnerable place, their dreams. Alright, time for my own little try at some Dreampunk art. Little segment we like to call Dream Plus. Alright, now let's leave you with that question. Is A Nightmare on Elm Street Dreampunk? It deals in dreams, there's bleed over into the real world, with Freddy either being tossed into the real world or micronaps, or the real life ramifications of dream slashing. There's questioning reality, at least in the first movie. Freddy has targeted people using trauma one would deal with in a dream, and the Dream Warriors show some of the characteristics from Jungian theory. Hell, you could make the argument that Freddy is the Shadow.
The Shadow? The Shadow? The Shadow!
Hell, the fact that Freddy can move around the dream says the world that they work under has a collective unconscious. I say yes, but that's my answer. Put your own down in the comments and get a discussion going. Hell, the look of Nightmare on Elm Street alone makes it more Dreampunk than Inception. Thought I wasn't going to talk about that, huh? Yeah, one of the most well-known going to someone's dreams movies is Inception. Personally, I don't think it's Dreampunk. It works under a lot of the ideas of Dreampunk, evil tech, misuse of dreams, but there's no real collective unconscious in mind. So, not really sure, but you can make the argument either way. Or someone's going to be comments and told me I'm total dick and no, Inception's totally Dreampunk. It looks really polished. Anyway, well, this has been What's Up Punk. Next week we go deeper to the Chaos Theater to a little watering hole that's called Rantasmagoria. And check out What If. Mainly, what if George Romero directed the first Resident Evil movie? But when we get back to What's Up Punks, we're going to take a look at Diesel Punk. Till next time, remember, consciousness is king, robots are people too, so treat them with respect. Gluing gears to everything does not make it steampunk. You add a little bit of brass in there. But keep on being a no-good, dirty punk. You know it, you love it, here's the spiel, let's do it. Hit subscribe to be my subscriber. Hit the bell so you know when I've actually posted stuff. Still no idea why those two things are separate now, but whatever. And of course, hit like to appease the algorithm gods. All fear and praise. On a list of whatever YouTubes, I am also probably not going to get any ad revenue for these videos, so if you would be so kind, check out that Patreon and the GoFundMe. Links in the description.